Hey everyone, in this video I wanted to pay homage to the record of Eastern European nations in World Cup history. Now every European champion of the World Cup has come from Western Europe, and we all know who they are: France, Germany, Italy, Spain, England. But in this video I wanted to pay a sort of respect to the contribution that Eastern Europe has made to the World Cup in a lot of its exciting moments, and the finishes that a lot of Eastern European nations have managed to accumulate across the years, with Croatia's in 2018 being the most recent, getting to the final of the World Cup in Russia just last month. So enjoy. First up, let's look at Hungary, the mighty Magyars. Hungary's record in the World Cup include 2 runners-up finishes in 1938 and 1954, and three quarterfinals finishes in 1934, 1962, and 1966, and 4 group stage finishes in 58, 78, 86, and 82 and 86. Hungary has appeared in the World Cup for a total of 9 times, progressing past the first round on 5 occasions, but they have not been back to the World Cup since 1986 in Mexico. Next up, you see 2 flags here, one for the Czech Republic, one for Slovakia, who at one point were known as Czechoslovakia for most of their history up until the early 1990s. However, for reasons not entirely known, FIFA deems the Czech Republic as the official successor to the Czechoslovakia, so all record of Czechoslovakian teams of the past are filed under the statistics of the Czech Republic. I just wanted to show 2 flags to show you that they are 2 different countries now. I'm not quite sure why that's the case. Maybe in Czechoslovakian teams, most of the players were Czech or something. I'm not sure, but you go to the Wikipedia page, and Czechoslovakia's footballing results in World Cup are under the Czech Republic wiki page, and FIFA officially recognizes them as the successor. Then I guess we can't really dispute that. Czechoslovakia, their record in the World Cup, just like Hungary, they finished runners-up in the tournament twice, coming in 1934 and 1962. They have 2 quarterfinals finishes in 1938 and 1990, and 5 group stage finishes in 1954, 58, 70, 82, and 86. Under the name Czechoslovakia, they have 9 appearances in the World Cup, and after 1998, I believe, the Czech Republic, now its own country, premiered in only 1 World Cup, which was in 2006, hosted in Germany, where they finished in the group stages. Since separating into 2 different nations, each of the Czech Republic and next Slovakia have only qualified for the World Cup once. So, moving on to Slovakia, they have 1 World Cup appearance as an independent nation in 2010, where they got to the round of 16. If any Slovaks feel bitter about the Czech Republic taking the record, officially, at least is how it's listed, for the performances of Czechoslovakia, then Slovaks can at least take compensation in knowing that they have a better record than the Czech Republic in recent World Cup history, at least, since the 2 nations became independent. Next on the list is Poland, who have finished in 3rd place in the bronze medal twice, in 1974 and 1982. They've also had 2 round of 16 finishes in 1978 and 1986, and they have 4 group stage exits in 38, 02, 06, and 18. Poland have qualified for the World Cup 8 times in total, and have progressed past the group stages 4 times. Russia was filed under the name the former USSR, the Soviet Union, up until the 1994 World Cup, where they are under the current name Russia. Russia's best finish in a World Cup was under the USSR when they finished in 4th place in 1966. In their history, they have finished in the quarterfinals 4 times in 1958, 62, 70, and 2018 this past summer. They also have 2 round of 16 finishes in 1982 and 1986, as well as 4 group stage exits in 1990, 94, 02, and 14. Russia have qualified for the World Cup 11 times in total, where they have advanced 7 times and failed to do so 4 times. Romania's best ever finish in a World Cup was in 1994 in USA, where they went to the quarterfinals. In addition to that, they also have 2 round of 16 appearances coming in 1990 and 1998, and 4 group stage finishes in 1930, 34, 38, and 70. They've advanced past the group stages 3 times, and they've qualified for the World Cup 7 times. Bulgaria's best ever finish in a World Cup was in 1994, where they reached the semifinals and finished in 4th place. The only other time they've ever advanced was in 1986, 8 years prior to that, where they got to the round of 16. And they also had 3 group stage exits in 1962, from 1962 to 1974. So that's 4 consecutive group stage exits, as well as in 1998. They've qualified for the World Cup 7 times, but have only passed the first round twice. Turkey have actually only qualified for the World Cup twice in their entire history. Once in a group stage exit in 1954, and then many years later, qualifying for South Korea, Japan in 2002, where they went on quite a run, finishing as bronze medal 3rd place performance. So their appearances in World Cup have been very few and far in between, but they do have a bronze medal to their name. The Ukraine have only been to the World Cup once as an independent nation, and it came in 2006, but it was a very decent run indeed as they went to the quarterfinals. Greece have qualified for the World Cup 3 times, first time coming in 1994. They've also appeared in the 2010 and 2014 World Cups. They failed to advance in both 94 and 2010, and 4 years ago in Brazil, they advanced for the first time, getting to the round of 16. Now, this next one is complicated. You see several flags here because all of these countries at one point used to be unified in the Balkan region in a nation known as Yugoslavia. And Yugoslavia, dating back to the 1930 World Cup all the way until the 2002 World Cup qualifying cycle, has a long storied history, and it's a little bit dicey, and there are conflicting accounts of what independent nations are the successor team of Yugoslavia, and therefore who gets the credit for Yugoslavia's results, depending on who you talk to. Unlike the whole Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, Slovakia thing, it's not really officially made by FIFA. Because you go to several of these teams' Wikipedia pages, it'll tell you their history, including the point where they are unified in one country. A lot of people consider Serbia the successor team to it, but again, it varies. And to be honest, it's probably fair to account all of these countries as successors in their own right, since they were all part of one country for most of the 20th century. So, for the sake of giving everybody a fair shot and trying to avoid offending anyone, I include all the flags here, and consider this the individuals that made up Yugoslavia. Now, there's a couple more. There's Macedonia, and there's the controversial region of Kosovo, but Macedonia is not including in this list because Macedonia has never qualified for a World Cup. But anyway, the record of the broader Yugoslavia in the history of the World Cup is as follows. 2 fourth-place finishes in 1930 and 1962. 3 quarterfinals in 54, 58, and 90. 2 round of 16s in 74 and 98. And 2 group stage exits in 1950 and 1982. In total, Yugoslavia had 9 appearances in the World Cup, having progressed past the first round in 7 out of 9. So a very impressive record for Yugoslavia in World Cup history. And now that I've covered the broader Yugoslavia, let's get down to these individual countries' record post the breakup. Here you see the flags of Serbia and Montenegro, which was a country for a short period of time in the early to mid-2000s. They qualified together as a single nation for the 2006 World Cup, where they finished in the group stage. This was the first and only time Montenegro entered a World Cup as part of being the title of a country. Montenegro has yet to qualify for the World Cup as an independent nation. Serbia. Serbia has qualified for the World Cup as an independent nation twice, in 2010 and in 2018. On both occasions, they went out in the group stage. Slovenia, as an independent nation, just like Serbia, qualified for the World Cup twice, in 2002 and 2010, on both occasions going out in the group stage. Bosnia and Herzegovina qualified only once for the World Cup in 2014 as an independent nation, and they went out in the group stage. And finally, Croatia, as an independent nation, have qualified for 5 World Cups between 1998 and 2018, missing out only on 2010. And their best ever finish was second place runners-up in the 2018 World Cup in Russia, as well as a third-placed bronze medal in the 1998 World Cup in France. They've advanced past the group stages twice, both on very deep runs, very noticeably. Sandwiched in between that are 3 group stage exits in 2002, 2006, and 2014. So I hope you enjoyed this video on the history of Eastern European nations in the World Cup. Things got a little convoluted towards the end, but the whole Yugoslavia thing, so I hope I made that clear. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Till then, everybody, have a good one. Much love and peace.